Hello guys and welcome back. This is part 3 of the tutorial. So in this video episode, we're going to get into the configuration files. So the config.yml and making your own custom config files. So like for example, if I go into my 1.14 test server and go into my AutoRaster plugin, you'll see I have messages.yml, or if I go into Wisp plugin, I have all of these different things along with the config.yml, or in my padlock plugin, which is a thing I was running on but probably may end up stopping. I have a couple different ones here as well. So I'll be showing you how to make these custom types of YML files and how to use the regular config.yml. So, you first need to go to your resources folder and create a new file and just call it config.yml. So this is for the default config.yml file that you would use. So this is a YML file. We can for the config.yml and only the config.yml, we can actually write in what we want it to have directly into here, and it will put that into the config.yml. But usually doesn't put it there in order. But like if I wanted to have this generate something when I build the plugin, I could say just random whatever interval and make the interval 5. Let's say if I was making an auto broadcaster plugin, the one that I actually have made, then I mean right now it wouldn't do anything, but if I were to do this dot get server dot get con this dot get config dot copy dot dot options dot copy defaults. If I do this, then it's gonna copy the default, which for this file is this interval 5, and it will create a folder or a file in a folder for the plugin called config.yml, and we'll put interval 5 in there. So I can show you that. I'll just build it real quick. For that to finish. Okay, and let me start up the testing server real quick because I closed it. I should really just disable that warning. It's a little annoying. For something like this, I'm gonna probably cut out some time here just so that it goes a little faster, because you don't want to be sitting here all day watching nothing happen, I would imagine. At least for loading will be a little bit faster this time because the world has already been loaded. Okay, now the plugin is enabled. So if I go to my G drive and go to the tutorial testing server, go to plugins, since we have a this dot get config dot options dot what? It didn't create the file like it was supposed to. I need to check something really quick. So I'll be right back. Okay, we are back. So I just forgot to save the file after it's produced. So you want to do this dot save config after you get the config to save it, which makes sense. So it gets the configuration file, which is this interval 5, and then saves it. So I'm gonna reload now. And now there's this folder tutorial plugin and a config.yml file, and I guess I'll just open it in WordPad for now. I do have Notepad++. I don't know why it didn't find it. That's weird. I have too much stuff on this computer. That's probably why. But now, as you can see, it just has this interval 5 in it, but that doesn't have any use at the moment, so there's no point in having that there. But if I wanted to create another file, say I wanted to create a file to store location data, so I'll just create a new file, locations.yml. I can't do just this.getConfig because this isn't the config, and I can't do something like this.get yeah, this just doesn't, it's not a thing. I have to do that one a little bit differently. I have to make a class that actually creates the file structure and assigns the proper file type so we can use all the proper methods on it, and a few other things. And like for this one, I can't just write anything in here and have it load. I have to actually manually type it in the code. And even with this, it's better to type it in the code anyway, because a lot of times when you put stuff in here, when it actually generates the file, it's going to be totally not out of order from what you want. So, like, I like to write into these just like what I'm going to put in the file so that I kind of know how I want it to be structured. But other than that, I usually just try to code it in so that it loads into the files properly. So we're gonna get into like actually creating a locations file for storing data like this a little bit later in the video, but first we're going to just work with the config.yml just to put in like a basic enabled true. So let's see, do if. So I'm going to do boolean enabled is equal to this dot get not get command dot get config dot get enabled. Actually, this is going to be get boolean. If I could spell that, would be fantastic. There we go. And then if not enabled, do stuff here. Else what the heck did you just do? What? That's not. Oh my god, I forgot to. Me and my brilliance definitely know what I'm doing. Okay, then I could do something like bucket.get server.get login manager dot disable plugin tutorial plugin dot this. So now if it's not enabled, so if enabled is set to false, it's just going to disable the plugin immediately. So like, if I build this, I'm going to reload it in the debugger. It's going to change that configuration file that I just showed you. So I'm going to go ahead and reload this now. If I go into this config.yml, the interval is not needed. I don't know where that's actually still there. Get rid of that. Save. And you see enable the true. So now if I go into the game, go into the testing server, testing environment, and I attempt to run /heal, for example, or /fly when I get in, it'll still work. But when you're working with files, when you're working within an YML configuration, you can get various different kinds of data types. You can get strings, integers, doubles, booleans, and actually really of any kind of type that bucket handles. So you could even put in a player and get, actually I don't know if you can get a player from it, but you can get a lot of different things. So you can get a UUID type. Remember, like, so if I run /heal now, it still works. If I go into this config.yml file and change this so it says false, and save and reload, because I don't have it saving in the on disable. Now when it comes back up, if I try to type in /heal, I get an error because I don't know. Plugin is disabled. That's why. But yeah, so then if I type in /fly, it does the same thing. I'd have to do some error checking. I don't know why it's... I've actually never seen this before. The plugin is disabled. Why the heck do the commands exist? That's kind of weird. Let me try restarting it. It might just be because it was already on. You'd think that disabling it would just disable access to commands as well, but I guess maybe I'm wrong. But anyway, basically, what's important from this is not that it's disabling the plugin, but that it's getting a Boolean value of true or false from this line that says enabled. And it's assigning it to this variable, because what I'm doing is it's getting the Boolean type that the path enabled is attached to. So, like when I wrote enabled : space the item, that's when I wrote like true was a Boolean value that getting from path enabled gets. I'm not explaining this very well, but play around with it a bit and it will make sense. I hope. Okay. Preparing the overworld. This is kind of slow. Okay. Enabling tutorial, and then immediately after disabling it. Let me get in. So heal and fly should appear in red, not white, when I type them into the command line. If I ever get into the server. Here we go. Heal. Never mind, there's just this weird internal error because the plugin is disabled, but yet it's still appearing in the plugins list. Yeah, I'm gonna have to find a fix for that at some point if I ever actually use that. But basically, it gets the Boolean value from the file. We're gonna get rid of this check now because we don't really need this anymore. But let's say you wanted to do something with a custom configuration file. Let's say you wanted to create a custom configuration file to say store a list of messages to broadcast or something like I did with my auto broadcaster, or this locations file. We'll create this locations file and we'll put in it I'll put in something that's not actually a location into it. I'll just give something random, but I'll put something into it after I've done it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back to this package file again, and we're gonna create a new package, and we're gonna call this files. Now, the best way to do this, in my opinion, is to make an abstract file class that you can use to more easily create files if you're going to use multiple configuration files, because that way it's just one extra step when you're creating another file, because it's all contained in one file that you extend from. We're just having to retype this code basically every time you want to create a file. So we're going to start off by creating a class called abstract file. And we don't need to extend or implement anything. We need to create a couple variables. So two of them are protected, one is private. So the first one is protected. It's a variable of the plugin type. So tutorial plugin. We'll call this plugin. And then the second one is a private variable for the file. So private file from java.io file. And the third one is also protected. So protected file configuration. And we'll call this config. Now we need to create a constructor, or default constructor. So public abstract files, and this is going to take in a tutorial plugin PL. It's going to take in a tutorial plugin argument and a string argument for the file name. So this method is basically what creates the file. And there's a couple other methods where you have to put an after, which are to save and reload the file, basically. So the first thing we need to do is plugin is equal to PL, and file is equal to new file. We need to get the plugin folder, so pl.get data folder and file name. And then if not file.exists, then we want to create it. So I'm going to try file dot create new file, and then catch, and it's going to be IO exception E, and I guess we'll just do E. That print stack trace because not really much else we need to do. It's most likely not gonna fail. Then we just need to make sure the configuration is assigned. So we gotta get the configuration type, so it's gonna be config is equal to YAML configuration dot load configuration passing in file. So it's going to load it up as a YML file for us to use. Now we need to create a method so we can save the file. So this is going to be public void save. And we're going to try config.save file and catch, and also IO exception, and do something like could not save file. And then we need to make a method so we can actually get the file. So this one is public file configuration. It goes get, and we just return config. And then the last one is the reload method. So this one is public void reload, and all we do here is this this same expression that we used up here. It's just getting the file again and doing whatever it needs to do afterwards. Grab the new file. So we have our abstract class. It's not been used yet, but it will be. So now we're going to create a file called location. So we're going to go ahead and do Java class locations file. And this is going to extend our abstract file class. And then this needs to have a constructor as well. This is going to be public location file, and it's going to take a tutorial plugin or a plugin type option, and then we need to call the super constructor. So it's going to be super pl comma, oh whoops, that's wrong. There we go. Super pl comma in the file name. So the file name is just going to be locations.yml. I don't know what it's giving me that error for. That's weird. Oh, that's why. That's okay. Misspelled the class name. So now we just put in the defaults. So I'm gonna actually put this stuff in as a array list. So what we want to do here is public void create config. This is just going what we used to. Why does it keep doing that? Create the configuration file. So inside of here, we're going to put what we want it to do. So I'm going to have it create a string list of locations. So I'm going to do list string. Come on, you. Locations is equal to new I guess actually we do arrays dot as list. Let's say one 250 68 279, something like that. Two locations that are in this file that would be used for something maybe, and then I would do config dot set, and then we give a string path. So say locations, and the item we're putting there, so it'll be locations. Now we can go to the tutorial plugin, and we're going to actually create that. So we're going to do public locations file locations is equal to new locations file this. If I can spell. There we go. And so now we'll just do locations file dot create config and locations dot get dot options dot copy defaults true, and then locations dot save. So now if I build this and reload the server, this new file that we've made will appear holding a list called locations that contains two items that are very arbitrary. Yeah, it's telling us that we need to. It couldn't hot swap it, but like, you'd use something like this. Like if you wanted to create a plugin that would set like a spawn or set homes, you would store, each user would have like a under their username or their UID, you'd have a list of like the name, a list containing probably you probably want to have a list that contained the location and the world and the name of the location and the name of the home warp or something. So like they would type in /home pineapple, for example, and they would go through the list and try to find an entry that had the word pineapple in it. And if it found one, then they would get that location's location. Yeah. So I'll actually do that in the tutorial after I show that our new file exists. So we have our locations.yml file, and as you can see, it has those two locations that we put into the defaults there. Now, in the long run, we're not actually going to use those, so I'm going to, instead of actually adding that, I'm actually not going to have it added, because of what I'm going to plan to do with this in a second. I'm actually not going to have this at all. because I'm using this a little bit differently. All I really need for this actually is this part that creates the locations.yml, and instead we're going to do the home bit in a separate command. So what we're going to do is, I gotta get rid of this first because that doesn't exist anymore, but I'm going to go to the commands, and I'm going to do a Java class, and I'm going to do a new home command here, and again implements command executor, and then at override public boolean on command sender command string label string args. After you've entered this kind of stuff enough times, it becomes, you'll have it memorized if you don't already. And we're going to do if command, I think it's label dot equals ignore case set home, or no, let's just do command dot get name dot equals ignore case set home. Then we want to check that first. Then we want to check if sender is instance of player, then player is equal to player sender. Okay. Else, I'm just gonna copy from here. Only players may execute. Okay, so we have the player. And what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that they only give it one arg. If args.length is equal to 1, else player.send message at color dot say red plus slash set home space chat color dot dark red plus name. Okay. Now we actually are going to need to create a helper type here. So I'm gonna put this into a separate package just called helpers, and inside of here I'm gonna create a new class, and I'm gonna call this location list. And then let's see, private string UUID, or no, private string name and private location from org.bucket. You gotta make sure you're importing the right things here. Location. And then this would be public location list. It's going to take a string n and location location L. I want to call this location just lock. That's what I usually do. And then we're going to do name is equal to n and lock is equal to L. And then public set location L. Private void set location lock is equal to L, and then public void set name, just in case I need to be able to change this, string n, and do name is equal to n, and then public location get location, and then this just return return lock, and then public string get name. This returns name. Okay, so that's created. So I'm gonna so first, then I want to do location. Import that. Lock is equal to player.get get location. And then string. I don't know, because this isn't really needed, but I just like to do this so I know what I'm doing here. So string name is equal to args1 or 0, and then I'm going to do list of location list type that I made. Let me just import list itself. Equals new location list is equal to new array list location list. So then I need to actually get the list file in this, so I'm gonna do private locations file locations public home command locations file L locations is equal to L. So now I can use this down here, so I can do locations dot get dot set. The path is going to be player dot get unique ID dot to string, and it's taking lock list. Okay, so I just need to do lock list dot add, say new location list name lock. Okay. Technically, I actually should probably do this. So I should probably do try to list location list lock list I'll try lock list is equal to locations dot get list player dot get unique ID dot to string. List what required list is that found the wrong type. There's a few different kinds of lists that can be obtained. Let's see, float list, integer list, long list, map list, short list, string list. I can't get a list of my own type, I guess. Actually, I get list, and then I think I can pass this as a list. Okay. Locations list. I don't know if that works. Okay. It's an unchecked cast. This might work. I don't actually know. I'm just gonna catch exception E. Just catch all errors. And there's new array list of type location list. I wonder if it was just that I wasn't doing. Okay, nope. Put that back in then. Okay. And then I'm going to do lock list dot add that. And gotta add in these as well. There. And then setting the location, and then locations dot save after each of these. Okay, so I'm hoping that this works to a degree. Oh. This is all in the wrong section, actually. I'm just realizing this now. This should be, player. Send message chat color dot red plus slash set home plus chat color dot dark red plus name. Okay. Oh, I didn't check if they had permission. I should do that. So I'm just gonna do this encompassing the whole thing. So if sender dot has permission, tutorial plugin dot home, then they can do all of it. There. Else sender dot send message chat color dot dark red plus you do not have permission. You do not have access to that. I apologize for this video taking longer than the others, but I'm doing something a little more complex, and I'm hoping it works. If it doesn't, you're going to see what an error looks like and how to debug in this. Okay, so oh, and then return true. And either way, after the catch statement, we just return true. Semicolon there. Okay. Missing a return statement where. Okay. They don't have permission. It was, oh, I just didn't finish the thing yet. Okay, so, else if, just copy this. I'm gonna just only one part of it. So if it's home, then we want to list locations list is equal to locations dot get list player. Oh, hold on. Okay. Player if sender instance of player, then we can have it do this. Otherwise, do this same exact thing here. Yeah, here we go. Okay. Get list. Player is equal to player sender, then if what was the if args dot length is equal to 1, Dot get should be player dot get unique ID dot to string. That's the path, and it's going to be a list of location list. Expression expected. Okay. Class. And this dot class as well. Dot this. I'm not sure what this is expecting me to do. Dot get list, boolean list, by list, character list, double list, float list, integer list, long list, map list, short list, string list. Perhaps, well, I guess it probably would actually make more sense to store them as hash map lists and not a custom list type, because I don't actually think I can. So I'm gonna change the way that this is done. I would have liked to have used my location list that I created here, but I guess I can't. So I'm going to do get map list that, and then list. I guess I do the list map. Is that right? There goes new. I guess this would actually need to be hash map. And I need to import hash map. Yeah. This new hash map. Pulling string and location. What? Okay, so I think I instead do map of string location. This is gonna take a bit of rearranging. There's probably gonna be some cuts in this. Util dot found. Will I do list of map? Who's new array list of hash map? Is this what I do? Oh my, okay, what? This is the most confusing thing I've ever done. Expression expected. I'm not sure what it's expecting me to do. That or a comma? Comma for what? String location. Or do I just put hash map inside of the... No. Required list Java equal to map. This is confusing. Okay. Array list. Do that. Okay, then I do hash map of string and location. Isn't expecting that? What? Okay, I'll be right back with this. This concludes the first part of episode 3. I apologize for the abrupt cut at the end here. It was the only good place I could find to split the video since it ended up being so long. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this far and are finding these videos useful. Remember, you can reach out to me at any time via the comment section or any of the methods I've listed in the description if you have any questions or want to give some feedback. On a side note, I've been considering opening up plugin commissions. Basically, you can pay me a small fee, and probably pretty small, and I could go to a plugin. Fees and development time would depend on what the plugin is. Probably wouldn't go much more than $10 at the most, probably, because and if you'd be interested in something like that, just let me know in one of the communication ways again. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.